Hi, and welcome to Prepping Essentials.
Good morning, it's 7 o'clock on Thursday the 24th of December. Just making my way down to the land. As always, never quite sure what we're going to get done, but let's find out. Well, here we are down on the land and it's still too dark to see anything, just a faint glimmer on the horizon there. So I'll get myself across to the cabin, get opened up, and I'll catch up with you again when we've got some light to play with. Well, it's slowly starting to get light. I've just lit the fire, but as you can see, the rest of the cabin and the field is still in darkness. It is still early though. I wanted to make an early start this morning just to try and get a few things done. It is Christmas Eve after all, and over the next couple of days I'll be busy running around as much as I can in the lockdowns, visiting family. I'm hoping I can get a bit further out at the weekend, visiting my mother. Lives in the top half of the country, so I'm not sure about that. We'll see, I guess. So yeah, I want to get an early start this morning, get a few little bits and pieces done, and I'll keep you posted as we go on through the video. But I'm just waiting now for a coffee and maybe a quick chat. Well, here we are. It's strange being here on a Thursday rather than a Saturday. But it is Christmas Day after all. So first things first, hope everybody has a really happy Christmas despite all of the challenges we've got going on right now. And whatever you're doing, wherever you are, stay safe and try and make the most of whatever chance you get for a break over this Christmas period. That's the fire. It's that's a bit warm. It's very, very needed this morning. It's cold, properly cold. We had surprise, surprise, loads and loads of rain and really strong winds last night. Thankfully the rain has stopped this morning, but there is ice. It is cold, and it's forecast for tomorrow to be even colder. They're talking about -5, -6. You can probably see the steam on my breath. I don't know where it is in here. I'm trying to see the temperature gauge. It's about 5 degrees at the moment, 4-5 degrees. So this coffee is needed. I've just been pottering outside while it was still dark. It's more of a tidy up day today than any big projects, I think. I don't know, we'll see how we get on. We're at that time of year now where, although we are in various stages of lockdown around the country, I can move around here where I am. So of course everybody wants visiting over the Christmas period. If I can, then I'll actually physically go. If I can't, then we're down to technology and phones and videos. So it is good we've got that at least. Yeah, so today it is grey outside. Just keep threatening a little bit of rain, so there won't be much going on outside. The wind is still quite strong, so I'm not sure what I'll get done. I've opened the wood pile up to see what wood I've got left, with a view to doing a bit more in the garden room, just laying out where the raised beds are going to go. It's a bit fiddly because I'm trying to figure out best use of paving slabs as well. I can't cut them, so I'm trying to work out whether it's going to be 2 slabs wide or 3 slabs wide. So yeah, the slabs will kind of dictate the size of the raised beds rather than do the raised beds and fit the slabs. So there's a bit of heavy moving to be done. I'll probably trim off that expanding foam from those gaps that I filled the other day. There's a few other bits and pieces. I've got some garlic that I wanted to put in to the raised beds outside. You saw the potatoes at the weekend. I was really impressed with that. Could you tell in the video? I was really surprised what came out of that bed. And it just goes to show, I mean, they were planted, I think it was about the 12th, 13th of September, something like that. So way beyond where you should be planting. And yet I got a harvest for Christmas. So the whole year, I guess, has been about experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't with the garden. So it gives me hope for next year that if I time it right and get the planting right and do it in stages, in theory I should succession crop all the way from kind of, I'm guessing, March, April. If I can, as long as we don't have any frost, late frosts, I should be able to go from March, April all the way through to now, to Christmas. And if I'm growing sufficient quantity towards the end of the year, then I should be able to harvest and store through the winter things like potatoes and carrots, cabbage probably, and onions. So we'll see. You can tell I've already got my mind set on spring and planting out already, which might seem a bit crazy in the middle of winter. But it does give us something to look forward to. And if this year's taught us nothing else, it's taught us to be prepared, but also to look forward to better things and better times to come. So I'm going to get this coffee down me. I'll top up the wood stove. The idea is, whether it'll work or not, I'll see how I get on with the garden room. But I'll be away definitely tomorrow doing visits of family locally. And I might be staying over somewhere Friday night. So that's a late start Saturday. You can guess why that might be. So there's a couple of days potentially where I won't be in the cabin. So my eyes keep going down to the floor and just wondering, should I or shouldn't I just paint the floor and give it a couple of days to hopefully dry out before I come back on the weekend. If we're not on national lockdown, which we're not currently, there is a chance I'll be away Sunday as well, travelling a bit further afield. We'll have to see. It is literally make it up with this lockdown. You just don't know from day to day. The government's changing its mind almost on a daily basis as to what you can do and where you can go. So if we are able to travel, then there'll be 3 days where I won't be physically in the cabin, and that's ample time, even in this cold weather. That's ample time for the floor to dry. So we'll see, and you will see, I guess, as we go along, whether I do or don't get round to painting this floor. I would really love to, because I am conscious it's bare wood, and I am trailing in, even though I try not to, I am trailing in dirt and mud, which is just wrecking the floor. So fingers crossed for today. I'll get as much as I can done, and then there'll be a bit of a breather for the cabin without me for a few days. I will at some point though come back on over this Christmas sort of long weekend just to say hi again, and I am in the back of my mind toying with a kind of end of year roundup video. Whether that turns out to be a video or a live chat, we'll see. I'm guessing with everybody off, the internet is going to be at breaking point. So I'm not sure about live streams, whether my internet connection would cope with all of the other traffic that's going to be overloading it this weekend, but we'll see. As always, it's a make it up as we go along. So I'll keep trying to take clips as I go today, so you can see what I've been up to. But if I don't come back on another chat before I leave, wish everybody all the very, very, very best for this festive season. Please do try to make the most of it. And remember, we are coming up to a new year and a new start. And hopefully it's going to be a lot better and brighter than the one we've had. I don't know if you can hear that wind or not, but it's rattling. It's rattling the roof. I thought I'd do an easy job first. It's literally just shaving through. That's a lovely noise, isn't it? Just shaving through this expanding foam, and it should, in theory, just pop out. You know it won't while I'm trying to do this one-handed with a video. But let's see if we can get it to come out. There you go, look. And that just gives you a nice smooth finish to it. And then, of course, I'll eventually paint that over. But there's quite a bit of this to do. It's not a 2-minute job. And of course there's the other side to do as well. Over by the diesel heater cabinet. So that'll keep me out of mischief for a while. And then I'm just experimenting with what wood I have on these raised beds and the slabs, as I was saying in the little cabin chat earlier. So nothing exciting, but hopefully if I can get this garden area sorted out in the garden room, that'll be a good bit of progress, with or without anything else I might get done. But I'll keep you updated. I'm going to get back to shaving this foam. Well, it's a little bit fiddly and time consuming, but there we go. That's not looking too shabby. We'll see if we can get some paint to take on it. Well, there we go. And to be fair, that's not too bad at all. The most important thing, of course, is the gaps filled. I'm not too worried about the painting. Well, I am, you know I am. But yeah, the main thing is the gaps are sealed. I've of course got to do the outside as well. But that should actually be a bit quicker on the outside than it was on the in. And of course we've got the other side to do still. So as always, stuff takes longer than you think, but we are making progress. And that's what counts. Well, that's the outside done as well. And I'll be pleased to get back inside because it's very cold out here. Well, that's that side done as well. All the way down. So that's nice. Got rid of all that surplus foam. And hopefully that'll keep the drafts out. Talking about which, it's a bit cool out here. I should be in the cabin where it's nice and warm. So I'll have 5 minutes and I'll take a look at this and see what I can do with these raised beds. That was hard going. Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, it started bloody snowing. And I'm out here trying to cut wood. I guess we knew sooner or later it was going to come, but I didn't really want it now. Well, I can't believe it's bloody snowing outside. Anyway, I'm cracking on. I'm just rough fitting for now where I think the inside of the beds are going to go. I'm lucky, really lucky actually. I just had enough. I've just infilled a little gap there. I just had enough of these real big timbers to form the inside of the beds. So I'm just working out now how many slabs will take me down the middle. I'm guessing 6, which will leave a little space at the end to make a bed. So I've got some sand. I just need to fill out under these. They're not really blocks, they're not really sleepers, big bits of wood. Fill out under these big bits of wood to get them level. And I've got some of those, you know, these iron stakes. So I'll just run a few of those around the outside to hold everything in place. And then we'll see where we are time-wise, whether I've got time to do the slabs. Weather's definitely against me today, but we'll keep cracking on and at least we're making some progress. Oh, well, that's 2 in. five more around the outside to go. That's another 2 left. And then there's the middle to do. Well, that's the outside frame all staked down, so I know that's not going to go anywhere now. I've worked out roughly where the inside framing's going to go. That just needs levelling up. If I sound like I'm out of breath, it's because I am. All that hammering, it's worn me out. So I just need to juggle these 2 inner ones, just get them raised slightly on a bed of sand, so that they're level with the outer frame. They're not a million miles out. Get those staked down and hopefully get the inside slabbed. That isn't going to be as easy as it sounds because that centre bit is really uneven. I don't think you can quite see on the pictures. Maybe you can there, look. You can see how far out they are. They're quite a way out. This is really uneven, this centre. But hey ho, that's what the sand and gravel's for, get it bedded in. But first things first, get this inner frame sorted. I'll be back shortly. Well, that's that raised bed in. The other side, it just needs packing with the sand just to lift it slightly. It's maybe 5 mil, something like that, lower than the outside ones, so not a great deal. It's just time consuming and fiddly trying to get it level. Plus of course this one's in 2 pieces which doesn't help. The drilling holes for the ground stakes has taken its toll. The cordless drill battery is now flat, so fortunately I've got it plugged into the inverter on charge as I have one of the CCTV cameras. We're just not getting enough daylight for the small panels on the CCTV, so every week or two I'm having to pull one off and just trickle charge it. Anyway, while that drill's charging up, it's a good excuse apart from the fact that I'm worn out, to just grab a cup of coffee, and hopefully by the time I've done that the drill will be charged. I can level up this last remaining beam and get it staked down. Whew. I don't know if you can hear that. It's not rain, it's snow. Well, kind of sleety snow. I think it's too wet for the snow to settle. But it's making me feel cold, and it's certainly cool in this garden room, so I'm back inside for a cup of coffee now. Well, I am just about worn out. Cutting those beams up was a bit of a struggle, I have to say, with that handsaw. And I didn't need it. I think I'll just hug this for a minute, get my hands warm. I didn't need it to start snowing. There's always something. I keep saying it, everything takes longer than you think. And it does. Not sure if you can hear that rain or not. It started snowing, and then the temperature just slightly warmed, and it's turned into a sleet rather than a snow. This wind is picking up as well. It's coming from the north today, and I'm just looking out through the windows of the garden room there. There's a massive black cloud heading this way. They do say tomorrow's going to be really cold. All of this cold air is coming down from the Arctic, and they're talking about -5, -6 tomorrow. I won't be here tomorrow for sure. I'll be elsewhere, and I'll be indoors keeping warm with one of my lads. So progress, we are getting there, slowly but surely. I don't know what you think about the layout in that garden room. It is only a small space, don't forget. It's only 12 foot by 12 foot. So I'm going to get 2 raised beds down, one down each side, and it remains to be seen what happens at the back. If I'm fortunate, 8 slabs will fill that gap almost exactly. I'm praying that it does. So we'll have 2 beds, one on each side, and there'll be a slabbed area in the middle. I think I mentioned it in a previous video. It would be nice in the summer to have the window open and to be able to sit on a decent slabbed area with a cup of coffee in the garden room rather than sitting here in the cabin. That seems a long way away right now. I could do with a bit of summer sun. Anyway, I'm going to finish this coffee and get cracking again. We're not far off getting that last beam. It just needs levelling and staking down, and then I'll be ready to take a look at those pallet collars. Not today though, and work out how they're gonna fit. to give me that little bit more height. Probably only needs another 5 inches, 6 inches, 15 mil, something like that. 15 centimetres, something like that, to get it to a nice height. I'm guessing most of this will be seed trays and pots rather than beds full of soil. I've not got that far in my thinking yet. So let me finish this cup of coffee. I am cooling down, I can feel it sitting here. One last push to get the beams in and get that bit finished, and you can take a look. We'll see what time it is then, and I'll take a look at the state of the floor, and we'll see whether it's possible to paint or not. I don't know, there is a bit of mud on the floor. It is dry, fortunately, but I don't really want to be painting over bits of mud. We'll see anyway, and you'll see no doubt later on in the video. Well, that little 5 minutes of charging the drill worked. It's had enough power to drill through those. I'm going to have to make a name for these, aren't I? Through that beam of wood, and they're staked in now. So we're pretty much on track. I'll have a little play now with the centrepiece and just see what I can and can't do in terms of slabbing. Well, I've got the first 2 slabs in. I had to bring that panel in because it was just raining all over the battery box. So there's 2 in. I'll definitely get a run of 4 in that gap, which is good news. And if I space them as regularly as I can, it should, in theory, fill this whole gap. Only trouble is, the ground is really uneven, and whilst I've got lots of bags of gravel, I've used way more sand than I thought I would getting these beams in and levelling them up. So I have to go and buy some sand. And it's either today or never, because the shops are going to be closed over the Christmas period, and I suspect we're also going to go into another lockdown. So I'm going to have to quickly pack up, jump in the car and go get that sand, which means I'm going to be running out of daylight, I think. Anyway, we'll see how I get on. Well, that's the sand picked up and heaved across the field. So with a bit of luck, we'll get this this slabbing finished. Well, that took a lot longer than expected, and it didn't help losing an hour going to get the sand, but ta-da! We've got the slabs down, and to be fair, as a guess, that's not bad. I'm quite pleased with that. So, decent progress. We've got 2 raised beds, 1 at each side, and we've got a nice little path come sitting out area. Everything seems to be level, so I'll just let that have a couple of days to bed in, and then I'll run around with a bit more sand just to finish it off. But yeah, really pleased with that. The day is running away with me though. It's as it always does. It's just flying by. I'm just going to sit for 5 minutes because I've just worn myself out humping all these slabs around, and you just know that I had to adjust a couple of them. So I'll just give myself 5 minutes and have a think and see if I've got a chance of doing that floor or not. But I'm looking at that and feeling quite pleased with myself. Well, you know, I just can't resist sometimes. I've got about an hour and 10-15 minutes before I lose the light, so I'm going to get cracking with this floor. So apologies if I don't show much of it, but I'm going to want to get the paint on the floor rather than be jumping up and down trying to take clips. So I'll give you a progress update in a short while. To be honest, I'm not very sure about this paint. It's been outside under a tarpaulin all the way through the year since I did the extension, and it looks like almost it's separating itself. It's not going down very well at all, but I've started so it's definitely going down. I guess we'll just see what it looks like once I'm finished. Well, it's gradually going on. It is taking a bit of time to get it spread out, but I was a bit concerned. Paint seemed like it was separating out, but actually, as I look at it, it's actually not too bad. It's not quite as dark as the original, for sure, so there is something with the paint, but it's going on. It's covering, that's the main thing. And it should keep it waterproof, and I can always give it a second coat, maybe at the end of the Christmas holidays. We'll see how we get on with this one when it dries out. Well, there we are. That's the floor painted. I think it might need another coat, I'm not quite sure. I won't know really till it dries out. But that's got at least 2 days, maybe 3 now to dry itself out. Hopefully when I come back it will be dry. I don't quite know what I'll do if it's not. Anyway, that's that little job done. Need to get tidied up and it'll be time to go home. Well, I've only just made that because the sun is dipping down on the horizon. Another 20 minutes or so and it'll be dark. Well, that's a decent job done today. Really pleased with the progress. Everything's locked away. Wood piles covered up. I've not forgotten any tools. So it's time to go home, get a shower and something to eat. And I'll catch up with you on the channel sometime over the next couple of days. But I'll not be down here. Well, we'll see what happens with lockdown. I'll either be here Sunday or Monday. We'll see.
Well, that's it for this video. I hope there was something in there that was of interest to you. If you did like the video, please do click on the like button. Also feel free to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so. As always, welcome any comments, questions or suggestions you might have. How's it all looking? It's been a bit of a mad push today because I know I'm going to lose a few days of the holiday and I wanted to try and get as much as I could done. So pleased with the raised beds. They're looking pretty damned good actually for a guesstimate. Not quite so sure about the floor. I guess I'll find out in a few days time when I open the door and see what colour it is. But let me have your comments in the comment section below. And for now, thanks for watching and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.